Hi everyone, thank you so much for being with us tonight for Cedar Rapids Prep virtual session. My name is Vicki Hlubek. I'm the Dean of Academics here, and I will be your host for tonight. Our schedule has a lot to uncover today. We are going to talk about what is our school. We are a charter school, so what that means is we are publicly funded, independently run, and it is a free tuition for our families. What we are building here at Cedar Rapids Prep is having that tight-knit community where everybody belongs while encouraging us to push ourselves with academic excellence that's really gonna hone in on college readiness and that prep that we really wanna strive for. With me tonight, I will have some amazing veteran teachers that you will shortly get to meet as well. I do want to give you guys an update. We've had some families reach out to us in regards to how our construction is coming along in our temporary space. I will let you know that it is coming along extremely well, and we are on schedule for opening up at the end of August. I too cannot wait to have families come and tour that temporary space. We are in constant communication with our contractor. We are just waiting to get the A-OK so that we know it's safe to have families come and visit. Please make sure you are checking those emails because we will be contacting you guys with updates about opportunities for you to come and visit sometime this summer. A little bit of background about myself. Being the dean, I have been an educator for 10 years. During that time, I have learned a lot. I've had experience in multiple grades, whether it was coming from elementary to middle school, different contents as well. And so I am so excited to have this dream role and opportunity through Cedar Rapids Prep. You might say, what does that mean to be a Dean of Academics? It's my love language. I'm truly focusing on all things curriculum, data, mentoring our amazing staff at Cedar Rapids Prep, because we know that your child deserves the best education, and that's exactly what we're gonna give them and prove that with our data and results. Now, we do have some new offerings that are on our website for you. Some of you may have noticed that, but we definitely wanna make sure you're aware of these events. You'll notice that one of our events is about a glow night. And that is going to be at the trampoline park, specifically Sky Zone. We highly encourage your children or your child to attend that because what we're trying to do with these events this summer is build a sense of community and an opportunity to gain a familiar face. So on that first day of school, they're able to walk right in and be able to have that comfort, right? We know the anxiety that comes when you start a new school, and we don't want that to be the case here at Cedar Rapids Prep. You also will notice we're offering some summer camps for athletics. We are going to have soccer with both boys and girls, volleyball camp, as well as boys and girls basketball camp. All those dates should be on your screen right now for you to look at, and that website is actually live. So you can access that and sign up if you think that interests your child or children. Something I want to note, if you're looking at those opportunities and you feel like it just doesn't speak to your child, that's okay. These are not the only opportunities we're going to provide at Cedar Rapids Prep this summer. These are just the ones we're starting with. So please make sure you're checking back to that link on our website so that you can see updates as they roll out. Now let's say you sit down with your son or daughter at home and you guys come up with a great idea for, maybe it's focusing on STEM, right? Maybe it's something related to a different sport that we haven't put up yet. Please do not hesitate to email me or Justin Blitz, and we would love to come up with an idea and totally get the ball rolling on an opportunity so that each and every child at our school has that moment to gain a connectedness. All right, so the next 30 minutes here, we are gonna get to know this amazing group here sitting with me. We have 3 veteran teachers here, and I will let them introduce themselves here in just a little bit. I'll let you know that we have Rainey. She is going to be focusing on language arts, ELA. We have Sam in the middle here who is going to be focusing on social studies. And then we have Michaela rounding us out here with science. So why don't we go ahead and start with Rainey. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Rainey Kinsey Thomas. I've been teaching since 2001. The last 16 years I've been at Prairie. So lots of language arts experience for sure.
You're speaking my love language here
Right?
also. That's my pride right there. And I love that you're coming with us, having a lot of years experience that is only going to add to our staff and help our students here. Thanks. Sam, what about you?
My name is Sam Hackbarth. I've been a social studies teacher for the past 5 years, and I'm just excited to get the ball rolling here and see where this takes us. Sorry.
Thank you. We're excited to have you with us. Michaela?
Yeah, I'm Michaela Buck. I've been a teacher now for 5 years, all in science, and I've loved every minute of it. So I'm really thankful that I get this opportunity to work with you and your child.
Thank you. Rainey, let's start with you. What are you most excited about coming with us in your new role at Cedar Rapids Prep?
I am excited about a lot of things, but I think top of my mind right now is the like-minded people and this shared vision of building high expectations and high quality education for kids. These experiences that will build community and just feeling like a part of something where we're creating this thing, and I'm just so excited.
I can see your passion right now. Yes, we're going to be doing a lot of great work for the betterment of our entire community. What is it that you love most about language arts?
I love talking books with kids. It's a passion of mine to talk about books and writing, and I think when we finally can help kids see that secret and this is how it works, and they get it, it's kind of cliche to say that light bulb moment, but we all love when the kid finally oh, it clicked for me.
What would you say would students feel is your teaching approach?
I'm also thinking about, I'm at a point in the career where I have lots of siblings, and so I had, the kids will, yep, I had her, and so they know me, and one of the siblings this year said, my brother had you, and he said, she's a good teacher, but you don't mess around in that classroom. So those high expectations and the structure that kids need, and then just making sure that it's fun.
And what I love is having those high expectations. You're totally right. That's exactly what they need. And it just is because we expect that of them, right? For us to get that high level education, we have to set the bar high, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Sam, what is it that you love most about working with students?
Just the opportunities to get better every day, whether you're the staff, you're a student, collaborating, building those positive relationships, pushing each other, whether we're pushing the students to get better or sometimes they're pushing us to be better too. And building that culture, building that all together, I'm just, I love seeing that everyone improve and be able to be their best selves.
I couldn't agree more. And you kind of answered this a little bit, but what is it that made you want to become a teacher, or let alone focus on social studies?
Yeah, so for the social studies aspect, I really like the application of it. You see it every day, and it really provides students a great way to have their voice be heard and allows them to see the things that they're concerned about in the world and the issues that they care about in a light where they can have a voice and they can let themselves and let their academics and their passion for that issue take charge and drive them in that subject.
And in addition to both Sam and Michaela coming to us as educators, they actually have a huge passion for coaching as well. So where does that passion come from, you guys? And either one can start first.
I can go. So I grew up just with some excellent coaches, and being able to improve myself and to see myself grow off the court as well, and those lessons learned that I can apply to the classroom and I can apply to my life now, that I got through my athletics along with my academics in the classroom. Just it collaborates, it goes together so well and helps create a complete person. It helps the students grow to be their best selves as well.
I definitely love how you honed in on that moment of just as much as it's important to develop our students academically, it's also socially and working as a greater entity, right? When we get to be a part of something that's not just in the classroom, but that extracurricular, it really develops young adults. What do you think, Michaela? Where does your passion come from for coaching?
I grew up loving sports. I think I did them whenever I could. And that passion just really fed into my character, and it helped me become the person I am today. Growing me not only in my sports ability, but also pushing me academically, because when you're on the field, when you're on the court, when you're wherever it is for your sport, you want to show up and you want to be your best self. You want to show up for your team. You want to show up for yourself, for your family, for your community. And that bleeds into academics and also just into every other area of life. And so it's not just about developing skills for the sport, but also developing the person, because at the end of the day, our students are people, and we want to see every facet of that.
Absolutely. What would you say, Michaela, if I were to walk in your room, what might I see?
You're going to see a lot of relationship building. That's the foundation of any classroom that I get to be a part of, is building a relationship with my students. That's the best part of my job, is being able to know these amazing people. And then you're also going to see some really high standards and some high expectations. But those expectations and standards aren't to put a box around students. It's to help them break out of boxes, for them to see how capable they are, and for them to recognize, like, I can do this. I can be a part of this change that I want to see.
Absolutely. And I can attest to that. I have actually worked with both of these two for a couple years now, and I have been able to walk in their classrooms, and I have gotten to witness that. Rainey, I'm sure, has two within her 16 years. I can only speak on behalf of the other two at this point. Michaela, what is it that really drew you to Cedar Rapids Prep, joining us here?
I think just the opportunity to build something, to be a part of the ground level and make something that is so special for our community, driving people to work hard for one another, to want to be their best selves. That's something I'm really passionate about, and I'm really excited to get the ball rolling with that.
Absolutely, and we're lucky to have all of you with us, truly. I want to ask each one of you a very similar question here, but what is it that you want the students, as well as our families of Cedar Rapids Prep, to really take away from you, whether that be academically, as a coach, as a mentor? What is it that you feel you want them to know about you?
I really want my kids to know that while I'll have high expectations, I also want to build those relationships. An example right now is that I have a kid that needs support with making good choices and those kinds of things, and we have this relationship where he learned at the beginning of the year that I shared this fun fact. I've actually been teaching longer than my new teacher for social studies has been alive. And so the kids were like, what? Blown away. But just this idea that I can have fun with him, and he can make these jokes. So I've been a dinosaur all year long. And he asked me, like, was that back when the dinosaurs were? So that's just been our ongoing joke. And I enjoy that part of the classroom.
That banter.
And interacting with kids. And we have fun and then get back to work.
That's amazing. And again, that is what you want when you walk into a classroom, right? That's that trust that you guys have built, and that respect as well. So me as a parent, that's always my goal, right? When I go and drop my kids off at school, I want to know that I'm leaving them, if it's not my care or my husband's care, they're well taken care of at school. And I know from the staff that we're building and we're recruiting, that's exactly what we're doing. We're creating that safety net for kids, but also holding them to a standard where they can only succeed. It's gonna be hard, but again, when you believe in people, you never lower the bar, right? You're gonna set it extremely high, and students will get there at their own pace, but we're gonna keep giving them the resources and the support that they need. What do you think, Sam? What do you want families and students to know of you?
I'm excited. I'm just excited. I know for the summer camps, like whether it's athletics, first day of school, just to create a culture where students, like you said, can be their best selves, can excel to that high level, where it's the rigor in the classroom, on the basketball court, basketball court, soccer field, and anything along those lines. Just being able to be that support person, make sure that every kid has somebody in their corner that's pushing them in school, and making sure that like they're not only pushing themselves to be their best selves, but seeing the value in that, and making sure that they know that like there is value in that, and like their future has meaning, and that they deserve to push themselves for that.
Yes. Michaela, what would you like families and students to leave knowing about you?
You guys have said a lot of things that are really
You have to
identified
follow
with.
up, yeah.
But I would just add on that I really want families and students to know that I'm going to show up every day, and I'm going to work my butt off for you. I'm going to give 100% because that's the only way I know how to care about someone, and that's the only way I know how to love someone and show up for them. I am, and I think everyone here, we're on their team. Yes. At the end of the day, we are on their team, and whether that is actually on the athletic field on the team, or whether that's in the classroom or walking in the halls or outside of school, whatever it is, we're on their team. And we want to make sure that they have what they need to become their best selves and to see what they truly are capable of.
I love that. And everything you all are saying is spot on, right? The saying of, it takes a village to raise a child. It does, right? You have your guardians at home, but it goes further than that too, right? You want to make sure your families are surrounded with people who truly invest and believe. And just like you mentioned, maybe that's going to a musical, maybe that's going and seeing them participate in something that has nothing to do with school, right? It's fostering that safe and trusted relationship that we are going to be building here at Cedar Rapids Prep. And I think the biggest focus for me that really attracted me to coming over here is that I love being challenged. And I'm aware that you guys, I can see we're competitive, we're passionate, we give our all, right? We're going on a motor. We hold ourselves to a high standard. And what I love about Cedar Rapids Prep is that's exactly what we have to do, right? We as educators are going to be held to such a high standard because our students are as well. And when students and staff are at their best, that community is just going to flourish, right? When kids walk in the hall, it's not just going to be a, hey, morning. No, we're gonna know you by name. We're gonna ask what you did over the weekend. Maybe you had a soccer game that was for club. Let me hear how it went. What went well, what didn't? It's that relationship building that we are doing, and it's only gonna foster success in many different forms. I do think we want some questions that are gonna come in. If you guys have questions, make sure to type those in the chat. But I wanna go back to something that Sam had mentioned when he was speaking on making that connection, and he addressed extracurriculars. As you guys know, we are offering every sport at Cedar Rapids Prep next year, with the exception of football and wrestling. So I do want to clarify this because I think there's been some miscommunication. If your son or daughter is very passionate and wants to be doing football or wrestling, they can at their home school. So for example, Rainey is coming from Prairie. Let's say there is a Prairie student and they love football. Wonderful. They will be able to join the Prairie football team for that year, since we are not able to provide it our first year. That is state law, and then all the other sports that we do offer, they would be with us. So I do wanna make sure everyone's understanding that, and that yes, we are going to roll out eventually football and wrestling as well. We know that there's passion there for that. We are just fostering these other outlets first, and that will be rolling out, just so everyone's aware. Did anybody else want to share any experience that they maybe had even today? I want to thank you guys though, because I know as a mom, May, this time of year, it's a little hectic, okay? So I appreciate you guys taking some time out of your busy day to kind of sit with us virtually and get to know us a little bit more. So I really do appreciate that. We do have some questions. I do want to mention about enrollment actually. There should have been a link earlier that was posted, but if not, if you go to our Cedar Rapids Prep website, you will see, it's right there. You can't miss it, about applying, right? We are for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then every year after that, we will add our next, right? So our second year, then it would be open to 9th grade and so forth, and eventually our building will be obviously from 6th through 12th. I do want to make sure that you guys are aware that we're currently at 85 to 90% full on enrollment, depending on the grade level. So again, if you have some more questions or you want to meet up one-on-one, grab some coffee, kind of do a face-to-face, I know I can be available for you, Justin Blitz can, as well as our other dean, Abby Turley. So our emails should be there on the website. You can reach out to us, and we'd love to sit down. But definitely go ahead and apply for that because they are filling up quickly. And just so you're aware, it is first come, first serve. We have hired for staffing. I want to make sure that's known as well. We have hired our staff. We have hired for sure special ed as well. We want to make sure that everybody knows that we are building this amazing team here that honestly your students, your children, your family, everybody deserves. So we're really excited about that. But I do know that with enrollment, there was another question that had come up maybe before, and it was in regards to if you have multiple children in your home. So let's say that right now you have a 5th grader that is coming to us for 6th grade next year, and you have applied, they have been accepted, wonderful. Yes, those other children in your home will be accepted, but they do still need to apply when they are coming to us for enrollment number to make sure that we have that information on them, as well as filling out that commitment form with details so that we really get to know your child to the best of the ability. So, for example, on our commitment form that's sent out to you guys to finish that final step of enrollment, it's really asking you what makes your kid tick, right? What is it that is their passion, their interest, their love, so to speak, right? Or what is it that you want us to know about them so that ultimately it's a great transition, it's smooth, and it's the best experience for them. That's really what we're focusing on. So I think there might be some questions that we have. Oh, perfect, thank you. All right, let's see, question 1 here says, what are the hours for the school day? We understand that some of you who are having your older children come to us, we had to accommodate to make sure we can make sure it doesn't interfere with maybe younger children that are in your household. So our hours are actually going to be 8 to 3 p.m. A second question here says, which I kind of touched upon this, but I can go into more detail. What extracurriculars will be offered? So we talked on that sports side, but as everybody knows, not everybody's into sports. That's okay. We want to provide opportunities for extracurricular and club events for all of our students. So something that we want to provide are those different clubs. And currently what we've been talking about is making sure that we have students give their voice, right? We want to, from those commitment forms, you're giving us some ideas about what it is that your children love. But also early on, right away in the year, we want to sit down with kids. We want to have a panel where students really share their voice, right? And let us know, hey, we just had this idea. We would love to get hands-on experience. Maybe it's something where we're going outside, right? And we're connecting with nature. Absolutely. Our staff is so passionate about making connections and allowing every student to have the best experience. We have many staff members that will go above and beyond to lead these clubs or these organizations that we can create together. And again, something that I want to touch upon is I love the idea that we are focusing not just on high school, right? Eventually we'll get there. We're fostering this love of learning, this academic excellence in those crucial moments, right? 6th, 7th, and 8th. It is such an important time in a young adult's life where you really get them to love learning still, have a passion, be so inquisitive, right? They want to know why we're doing this, connect it to the real world, and help them find their strengths so that when they are in high school, we are able to really connect them with our counselors that we have so that they know what they want to do after being with us in high school, right? They're gonna have those connections and we're going to set them up to make sure they have 2 college acceptance letters that they have worked extremely hard for. That's definitely our commitment to you guys as teachers, to you, for your students, for your children. I'm used to saying students, sorry. Another question here, well, I guess also esports, right? That is super popular right now. So that is something where we are working on having a space set up for that. I know right now where I'm teaching, esports is it, right? Everybody's a gamer. I'm like, tell me the way. I don't know how to do it. But we are going to make sure to have some passionate students who love that, who can help guide us on that. But then also it's kind of that release as well, right? After having such a focus-driven day, that can be something that they can kind of let loose and kind of fill their bucket, you might say. And again, I will say I've actually had some families reach out to me already with great ideas about what their child is wanting us to try or attempt. And again, no bad idea. Send it to us. We want families to be a part of this. It's not just about student voice, it's about family voice, because we are going to be working together, right? That's how our students/children are going to be the most successful, if we are on the team together, rooting for each other. Question 3 says, how is discipline handled? Great question. This comes up all the time. First and foremost, we are all about safety, right? That is our promise to you. Children have to be safe. If there is not that feeling of secureness, there is no learning. And we are never going to jeopardize that learning environment. It will always be safe. It's a zero tolerance for us. So again, having that safety set in place is crucial because that fosters that learning environment, right? So that everyone, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student, whether you are helping in the office as support staff or a secretary, everybody deserves to go to their job. And again, I tell my students every day, this is your job right now, right? You are fostering a love of learning. You are growing. So we want everybody to show up feeling supported, safe, and valued. And we will prioritize that for you. So again, high expectations. How are we going to do that? We will never mislead your child. They will know exactly what the expectation is when entering our facility, right? And every one of us as educators promises to be consistent, right? When there is consistency, there is no opportunity to falter off. Students can't question if, can I do this? Can I not? Nope, it's known. And we value the support of us as a staff to make sure that when your child is dropped off every day, that they are safe and their education is of the utmost value to us. Another question that we have, when can we tour? I briefly went through it. It was kind of fast. Sorry about that. Again, progress is running very smoothly for us at our temp space. Quite beautiful, honestly, for a temp space. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But again, that is going extremely smooth. We are on track, on pace. We are renovating in the tower, the ground floor, I call it, and the first floor, technically. We will have a separate entrance that is only allowed for our students. So again, safety, right? Our students and staff. It is totally been redesigned so that it is just for our Cedar Rapids Prep students. Just want to let you know that, again, we've been in contact with our contractor, construction. Obviously, us on the admin team, we're popping in there, checking in, making sure everything's going well. And again, we're just waiting for the clear to set up a time when it could be safe for families to come in and see everything. So again, email will be going out to you guys sometime this summer. We'll probably make sure to put a little post out just to say, hey, reminder, check an email, updated information for you. Because again, we really want to get families in there because again, some of that nervousness about what to expect, we get that. But I want to let you know they are diligently working and getting everything set up. So just giving peace of mind to have families come in the summer is exactly what we are hoping to do for you guys. If some of you feel more comfortable, maybe not open house style, but want to do like a private tour, again, email us and we are more than welcome to set that up and meet you there. Because when the doors open in August, we want to make sure everybody is ready to go and has at least one familiar face, right? So that's extremely important to us. You can see on your screen here, if you still had some questions, we have in here that, again, we are a charter school. So with that, what I want you to make sure you understand is we are not related to any religious affiliation. There's not an exam you have to take and score on. It truly is first come, first serve. We want to make sure that if families are investing in us, they're seeking us out, right? They know and believe in our values and expectations, and that is what is crucial. I truly believe, as an educator, as a parent, as a friend, as an aunt, that when a family chooses where to send their child, that is powerful, right? They're making that conscious choice, and they're really saying, this is where I want to be because I believe in the mission. I believe in these teachers. I believe in the focus on college readiness, right? That academic excellence. And again, maybe your student is coming to us below grade level, at grade level, above grade level. Wonderful. We want everyone. And we are going to meet them where they're at, but we're going to make sure we get them past that, right? We're going to close gaps. We're going to excel, right? We want to make sure that these students are seen at whatever academic level they are at. And not even academically, behaviorally, right? We want to foster that entire child so that when they walk in at Cedar Rapids Prep, they know they matter. They know the growth is extremely important to us as well. Let's see, we have another question here. Oh, I kind of touched on this, but I'll go back to it. It says, have you hired your entire staff? All of our core teachers have been hired. So again, core teachers, that's ELA, which is language arts. We have social studies, science, and math. And if you guys were at our first virtual session, you were able to meet both of those math teachers. As well as SPED, I mentioned that we have hired as well. We have hired some of our elective teachers as well this year. I'm sure we'll do another virtual session where you can totally meet them as well, kind of see what makes them tick, their passion, what they are ready to incorporate as well at Cedar Rapids Prep. I want to reiterate, earlier I had said we have veteran staff here, and we really do, right? That experience, that exposure to different grades, different districts is going to be amazing to see us all come together because truly as educators, we're lifelong learners also. So what I love is we are all coming together from different areas and learning from one another, right? Saying, hey, what works? What can we change? What do we love? What do we want to do so that this is the best setup for everyone? And when I say everyone, I literally mean students, staff, families, right? All of us that really are going to make this community. We got some more that have come in. Let's see here. I want to make sure, did I miss one? Wait, I did miss one, I'm sorry. Okay. It says, my child learns best through hands-on learning. Is this something Cedar Rapids Prep is going to focus on, and what is that going to look like? What do you guys think? Obviously, hands-on learning is there. What do you plan to do? How would you like to incorporate that?
I can start.
Science, I love
I can
this.
start with science.
Kayla,
Yeah.
thank you.
Science offers a lot of really great opportunities to work hands-on, whether that be with investigations or making observations or even trying to collect data to analyze and interpret it. So I plan to really, really hone in on hands-on opportunities. Our grounds that we're going to be on is going to lend itself really well to that. Having access to some natural spaces is going to be really beautiful. So I'm excited to not only have indoor labs and investigations, but also being able to take students outside and explore truly the natural world around us. So in science, it's going to look a lot like investigations, not only doing science investigations, but also being able to make observations together, and then working together as teams as well. So
Yes, I love that collaboration. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, for social studies, a lot of it looks like being involved in what's going on today. And a lot of people look at history and be like, oh, that's old, like, why do I need to worry about that? But finding those connections to what we have today or finding like maybe community partners that work with these issues and work with like what's going on in our community, but making those connections within the community and making sure that students are like up to know, they know what's going on. They're able to form their own opinions on it, have educated opinions on that, and be involved with the community in those issues.
I love that you mentioned the community aspect, because that is something we are going to most definitely utilize, right? Because just as I had been saying throughout this whole session, it's that college readiness, right? We have so many connections here in Cedar Rapids with many businesses that we want our students to have exposure, right? We want them to see different outlets, because at the end of the day, we want to keep our families, our students here. We want to make sure we have some jobs that they can fulfill here as well. So I love that you are mentioning that connection with the community. That's what we're definitely going to be honing in on.
Yeah, and I think about literacy, and I would echo some of what Michaela said too, with the collaboration and working together and partner work. And it's not just sit and read and sit and write, but there's that social aspect and the discussion and just how that passion and joy for reading and being able to do all the things that go with it.
I love that. This question actually comes from a student. It says, I'm a student and I'm curious, is there a favorite teacher you had growing up? And what is it that you liked about him, or why have they stuck with you this long?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to go first, Rainey?
I can. So
Okay.
my fifth grade teacher by far was like the best. I had a relationship with her because my mom and my grandma also had a relationship with her. So that sense of community for sure. She just turned, I think, 97, and we still like write back and forth at Christmas time and stuff like that. And she's not like in a retirement home or whatever yet, but she's close to her daughter, and I'm just kind of mind blown that I still have that connection, and it's special. So
amazing.
When I'm 97, I would love that too.
I would love that for you. I bet you it's gonna happen. I'm hopeful for you. I'm hopeful. Sam?
Yeah, my seventh grade geography teacher really made social studies come alive, and just kind of grew my passion for it. And when history or social studies can come alive, like you can see it in the world around you, you can see it just in the everyday. So it's really special.
I love hearing that it was middle school when it clicked for you, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of times it is elementary, right? We love the elementary moment, but I think that's super important that you're acknowledging, wait, it was seventh grade I found that passion, right? And it was because of that one teacher. So I love hearing that. Michaela?
One of my favorites was actually in high school for sociology.
Okay.
Sociology. I loved being in his class because he made an effort to connect with every student. I remember when the day ended, before I went to practice, wanting to hustle over to his classroom with a couple friends to just chat for a little bit. He wanted to get to know us, and we wanted to get to know him. And in the classroom setting, he took every conversation and helped us understand, how did this apply to you today? Not everyone was going to go on a sociology path, right? Not everyone, but he helped us understand, hey, what we're talking about now applies later, even if this isn't the content that comes up for you every single day. So I love the connections he made, not only with content, but also with the people, students.
Would you guys say that each one of those teachers you kind of see within yourself about maybe aspects you've taken and applied now?
For sure.
I love that. I love that. I would say mine was my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Cudletts. And she was my favorite because she was extremely strict, actually. And again, that strictness isn't that it's coming from a cold place. It's really that, hey, I know you can do this. This is the bar. This is the expectation, and you're going to meet it, even as a fourth grader, right? She still made connections, right? She still asked about family. Amazing woman, right? And again, fourth grade, I just remember assignments that we did in there where it was my passion for learning, because I was a struggling reader growing up, and she pushed me to excel and helped me get to that. So I think all of those teachers stick with us, right? Definitely. Oh, we got some more. Wait, do we have another? Maybe not. All right. Another favorite, what would you say is a favorite memory you have from teaching? It could be student teaching, it could be teaching now, and it could be coaching, because I know you guys spend a lot of time coaching as well, right?
Just one.
I know just one.
There's a lot of really wonderful moments.
Here, I can go while you guys are
Okay,
thinking,
go.
okay? You guys, I got it. I'm gonna be honest. It sounds cheesy, but being dean of academics, I'm like a data nerd to the core, right? And I know the relationships that I've built with my students and pushing them to believe in themselves, but then they show it right at the end of the year for that wonderful ISAPS test, right? And those results come back, and I know it's so gut-wrenching for students, it's nerve-wracking, but seeing them lock in and believe in, and then getting those results and seeing, wow, look at this growth you've made, right? You were here as a 6th grader, you're here as a 7th grader now. And then getting to communicate that success with families. And, families know how amazing their children are, right? But then hearing it from another lens as an educator, hearing that a teacher sees their amazingness. And not necessarily because of the score, but because of the growth, because of their belief that they can believe in themselves, right? So that's what I love each and every year, and seeing each group of kids, because they're all so different. I just love seeing that passion grow as them and learning.
That makes me think of one. I can
Perfect.
narrow it to one. So I don't even remember how long ago, but I brought this celebration of kids to my team and kind of modeled it after the Wonder book. And so our kids get Wonder Awards and they get their picture taken. And I don't even know how many years we did it. We're still doing it. But I get goosebumps because we have the kids stand and do the standing ovation and they're clapping for each other. And it's just, I love that part of it. So just celebrating the success and recognizing kids. And we want to recognize all of them for all the things, not just, you did this or you scored whatever, but I saw you being kind, or I saw you doing this for your friend. And it just, I have goosebumps thinking about some of those moments with those kids.
And that builds that community, right?
Yes.
You're fostering that. Everyone knows to motivate and push one another, even for those little successes, big successes. I love that.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, so this past fall, we were able to watch a couple of our former students, in their athletics, at a football games. And actually, one of the students that wasn't even playing was in the stands, came up to me, and he was talking, and he mentioned that what he was doing in a social studies class now, he was able to draw a connection to what we had talked about 2 years prior. And it was really cool to see that, that foundation that's built in middle school, the students, as they build that, they care. And they can draw those connections, and being able to see that, it was a really cool experience.
That's amazing. And again, that was, you said 2 years ago,
Yeah.
so you stuck with him. That's awesome. Michaela?
One moment that sticks out for me was a couple years ago, and I was on a prep and just doing my hall walks, and I come by one of my students, and she's sitting on the stairs and not necessarily where she's supposed to be, so I'm like, what's going on? I look over at her, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she looks at me, and she's got some tears in her eyes, and I'm like, what's going on? I ask in a different way now, and sit down, and I didn't have to say much, I didn't have to do much besides just be there. I got to create a space for her to get what she needed. And she was able to let out things going on and really just pour out her heart on that. And we got to, talk about some things and how we can handle those things and what we can and can't control. And it was just really sweet to be able to offer that space to her. Not necessarily a celebration moment, but a moment where a student got to really just pour out their heart and be themselves and say, okay, I got to talk to someone and got what I needed. So that sticks with me. Just sometimes we just need to be there. We just need to be the space, the person.
And I think the celebration is that they have you as a trusted adult, right? So in the greater scheme, they know that, again, they can go to you for help with anything or pick them up, so to speak, right, when they're feeling down. And that's what I love. All of our examples are so different, right? But they're all so crucial to building that safe, respected, achievable environment, right? And so I love hearing how different each one of our, memories is. That was a success, so to speak, right? Or something we look forward to as well. Are there any other questions that maybe are coming in? Okay, well, I do want to let you know that, again, we are so excited, right, for what's to come with Cedar Rapids Prep. We are all extremely passionate about the work that we're doing. And again, it's really for you guys, for families, right? As a parent, I've said it before, I get it. We want the best for our children, and that's not just when they're in our care, right? And that's truly what we're pushing here at Cedar Rapids Prep. So make sure you should see on your screen that link again if you're still wondering about applications and applying. And again, if something comes up, you want to chat with me, chat with Justin, again, reach out to us. Emails should be up on our website as well. Going back to, we want your families to have the best experience, right? And at the end of the day, there are so many ways to experience that. Academically, it could be behaviorally, it could be having your group, right, where you just belong. And that could be in a club, that could be on the field, that could literally be when you are out in nature, right, hands-on. Maybe we're gonna create a club where we are just gonna get healthy. Whatever it is that makes you feel your best, that's what we wanna support at Cedar Rapids Prep. And we truly can't wait for the day we get to meet all the families. So again, I think we're gonna put a slide up here in 1 second that's just gonna go back to some of those opportunities this summer, just to refresh, because I know I introduced that at the beginning. We have that Glow Night, right? So if you're like, my kid does not wanna do sports, that's okay, Glow Night, right? Great opportunity. Who doesn't like going to the trampoline park, glow in the dark, okay? You can have them have a familiar face, kind of get some of that nervousness out, so that again, on that first day, they have a familiar face, whether it's a staff member or a peer that they met who is going to become a quick friend. So again, that is all we have for you tonight. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day here at the end of May. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Bye.